What should we be doing as members of the John Birch Society? As you know, we have an agenda that we are always promoting as the general activity for us, but part of this is the education of the American people on the basics of Americanism. While what we will be stressing today may seem redundant, it is very important considering the current political atmosphere. We must educate as many people as possible on the fact that we are a republic, not a democracy, and we were never intended to be a democracy. This is very important when you consider what the leftists are trying to do to alter the very form of our government from a republic into democracy. Karl Marx, in the Communist Manifesto, said, "The first step in the revolution by the working class is to raise the proletariat to the position of ruling class, to win the battle of democracy." In other words, the objective of the communists was to establish democracy controlled by them. It is not a coincidence that the one political party is called Democrat. They want to establish a democracy. President John Adams said this about democracy: "Remember, democracy never lasts long. It soon wastes, exhausts, and murders itself. There never was a democracy yet that did not commit suicide." President James Madison, the father of the Bill of Rights, in the Federalist Papers, which were printed to convince people to ratify the Constitution, said this: "Hence it is that such democracies have ever been spectacles of turbulence and contention, have ever been found incompatible with personal security or the rights of property, and have, in general, been as short in their lives as they have been violent in their deaths." Most people believe we are a democracy, yet we stand and pledge allegiance to the flag and to the republic for which it stands, not the democracy for which it stands. You will not find the word democracy in the federal Constitution or in any of the 50 state constitutions. What you will find is this: the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, in Article 4, Section 4. A mandate for a republic for even the states, not democracies. What is the difference? Well, a republic is a government of laws. A democracy is ruled by majority. There are basic laws that cannot be violated in a republic. A republic does not allow the people to vote on certain things, such as the limitation of the rights of minorities or religious sects. Such rights are protected in a republic. Democracies always misuse minorities. Today even, right now, democracies around the world are engaged in putting down minorities, even killing them. Minorities in democracies have no protection. Republics, on the other hand, respect the right of private property. Democracies always end up confiscating private property in the name of the people, except the people never end up with the property, the government does. Yet we see the attempts being made to change our republic into a democracy. One of the key means by which they intend to do this is to have a popular vote elect the president rather than the Electoral College. Eliminate the Electoral College is the cry. If this were done, the ensuing democracy would give the presidency to a few populous states, with the smaller states and less populated states with no real influence in the executive branch. The media and the left would rule the federal elections, concentrating on these few states. There are other initiatives which would change our republic into a democracy, such as packing the Supreme Court, free Medicare for all, free education for all under the auspices of the federal government, open borders allowing any and all to come into our country, and more. In order to stop these things, we need to let people know that we are a republic and what that means. One of the best means to carry this out is the little booklet by Robert Welch called Republics and Democracies. It's an old booklet, but then we're talking about things which are timeless. A good start is to get the people viewing the DVD Overview of America. This is a very sketchy presentation on the differences between republics and democracies, which would pique the interest of people to learn more. Americans need to learn the fundamentals of our form of government and understand why our government was put together as it was. If enough people understand these things, then we can preserve our country's freedom. If they do not understand these things, we will go the route of every other despotic country. First, the communists want to win the battle for democracy. Then comes the boot in the face by the communist government in the name of the people, which is a false idea. The Communist Manifesto also calls for the complete social revolution in any country, wiping out all vestiges of civilized life. This is what we see going on every day in our country. Today, lastly, I want to recommend that you read the first 100-year history of the United States in my book, To the Victor Go the Myths and Monuments. The subtitle tells a story of what the book documents, the history of the first 100 years of the war against God and the Constitution from 1776 to 1876 and its modern impact. You can't understand the Republican Party today without understanding the foundations of the Republican Party back then. There have been forces which have tried for 230 years to overthrow our republic. Only by understanding our history of these forces and the fundamentals of our system can we rally enough people to save our country. Our founders were very wise men. We need to study what they gave us to better understand how to preserve our wonderful country and then pass it on to our friends and neighbors.